All right, good evening, everyone. I'm doing a special live stream because a couple MTA stuff I want to bring up with you all. I quickly want to mention that I don't know what's going on with my editor. I quickly want to make a rant with one to share. I have a nice video for you all today, but I don't know why it's taking so long to convert. Normally, when I'm done converting videos, it takes a while. I thought I would have it ready and I could upload it by 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. Well, guess what? I think I know why I'm not converting the video properly, because I am actually in the process of converting other videos to PS3 files so I can watch the videos offline that I've downloaded recently from other YouTubers. And it's just so hard with my Wi-Fi these days that I just don't trust Spectrum. I don't want to go on about them, but I quickly want to check computer processes. Thankfully, again, I have a thing on here. Tax Manager. There we go. Let's see how much of the CPU is being used. Oh boy. 100% of the CPU is being used. Yeah, this is affecting performance. Yep, this is making my computer go insane. But I don't want to ramble on about that. I just don't. So we're going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to talk about my day with the MTA as a whole. As I said, I have a nice video I did today in Lower Manhattan. I'm going to upload later tonight. So you all want to check that out. I'd encourage you all. It's a very good video I shot today at 2 locations in Manhattan. So 2 tours in one day. I've gone now to where I'm like MTA Prodigy now. He does 2 tours in the same video. And speaking of which, I have downloaded the Flushing Manhattan tour that he did recently. As I said, I'm unfortunately going to be able to watch it offline because, again, with everything, again, with my internet, it's easy to watch offline. Trust me. I will read live comments after Mocha18 or anybody else wants to chime in. Your comments will be greatly read after the video is done. So without further ado, let's go behind the scenes of how the video filming went today. As I said, I'll reveal the locations where I went today right now because this is sort of like a premiere thing. It's not like formal premiere, but I'll make it official as the video is processing. So today I did 2 stations. I went to Fulton Street on the J and the Z line, which that station desperately needs a renovation, and the newly reopened Cortlandt Street 1 train station at World Trade. Well, that was fun to do today. So let's go into what happened behind the scenes with my day. So first up, how did Andy's day end up? Well, you'll see that first part of the Q46 later on in the video, but what I couldn't film was this. You know what soundbite I'm going to play now. Unfortunately, I have to. Let's play it. Yep. This was at Broadway Lafayette today as I was transferring to Bleecker Street to catch the 6 train to go on location. This was right by the ejector room on the downtown platform. And by the way, I want to quickly read you what I talked to NYCT Subway about. And Jason Anthony, if you're watching this video, or you can comment if you're watching offline, please let me know who JV is, because Jason would know this stuff better than I do. Okay, Supervision as well as the NYPD Transit Bureau were notified. We suggest informing an MTA employee or police officer if possible. I tried telling an MTA employee and I got a nasty attitude. The guy told me so and he smirked. Yep. It's like, so? And he's like, "Brr." And again, I was just annoyed that that happened because this guy was in MTA uniform. And again, if I had common sense, I would have, if I was an MTA worker, I would have just found my station manager or my supervisor or another employee and say, if you're authorized to call the transit police or, the regular, police, you got to get this guy out of here because he's trespassing on property. He shouldn't even be sleeping there. And again, I have to say his name, folks. You know what this disaster was brought to you by. That's right. This disaster was brought to you by Bill de Blasio. Oh, boy. And then they replied back saying, "We are very sorry to hear this. Did you report it to the station agent? If not, can you please tell us where did you encounter this employee?" I told them I could not get to a station agent because I was transferring to the 6th line, and it happened near where the homeless person was sleeping. You can't make this stuff up with the MTA. You just can't. And then my afternoon got a little bit worse. So yeah, I was at Baker Street giving the news about the LTrain. We'll get to the LTrain in just a second. So later on, I went to the Long Island Railroad, and guess what happened? I had to talk to the conductor about why the bathroom was locked on car 7423 on an M7. All right? So this is my usual 211 eastbound train to Long Beach, and I've had a bad history with this train. Someone's vandalized the Fox News poster and put graffiti on it, a very anti-Semitic graffiti, which I'm not going to get into. I've had equipment issues in the train, which again, Mass Transit Fails video, I'm telling you now, I am making that video and I'm uploading it on New Year's Eve. That's a promise, everyone. You heard it from me first. I'll start working on it. Believe it or not, I'll start working on it on Christmas Eve. I will. So I'll be home all day, and I have to go to my friend's house on Christmas Day anyway. But all right. So here's another epic fail on the railroad today. So I had to ask a conductor as we were passing Harewood interlocking. Well, somebody's been in the bathroom for 20 minutes, and there's no out of water sign. Like, yep, you didn't have one. Yep, because last week the bathroom had a thing that said out of order, and I posted it on the Long Island Railroad Facebook page. And then today, this happened, and I suggested to the Long Island Railroad that they need to take this car to Hillside Support Facilities. I told them what time the train was due into Long Beach because another problem, my normal conductor wasn't on the train today. There was this low-pitched guy. I could barely hear what the hell he was saying. Usually, the conductor I normally get on the train, which this is a positive of my train. This is what I love about my 211 eastbound express to Jamaica. When it normally leaves Penn Station, the positive about this train here is that this guy, the conductor, is very enthusiastic. Very enthusiastic. I can tell he looks forward to going over the Maryland Challenge Bridge in Long Beach by Island Park. But also today at Penn, the usual guy wasn't calling the trains. It's happened a lot in the past couple of months. It's made me very upset. And going to Penn Station is just depressing as it is. Dealing with this is just, again, I had to let them know what type of train this was. It was an M7. And there had to at least be, because again, this is an off-peak train, at least 10 cars. All right, so thankfully the Long Island Railroad's starting to get a social media response team. So that's good news. Just can't make this stuff up. You just can't. And now my epic rant about Casey Steingle. I have to make an epic rant today. I said earlier on Periscope I wasn't going to do it, but I have to. Today with Casey Steingle. Very bad behavior from the bus driver. I forgot what the number was because I was already irate about it today. First of all, two bad things the driver was doing. One, no announcements at all, which again, it's MTA policy to make bus stop announcements. They used to do that. Now they're not doing that anymore. Because maybe because the drivers have nice bus in their brains, that maybe because they expect the whole, oh, this is, yeah, I want the automated system. All the buses are equipped with automated systems, number one. Which, by the way, if you didn't see last week, the 88 had a broken sign. But that's not the point today. 2 times today, at Home on Street and in Union Turnpike, the back door didn't open. I told the passengers, if he does this again, you need to file a Title VI. Because drivers get written up for that type of behavior. I'm sorry. Again, I had a grandfather who worked in the MTA, and he would have told me the same thing. He told me that my grandfather Jerome would have told me drivers who behave like that get written up by their supervisor at the depot. And they have a rap sheet. They call it a rap sheet. And if they don't follow protocol, they are terminated from the MTA within a certain amount. I don't remember the number, what he told me. Because this is when I was about 14 or 15 when he was living in assisted living. And that's what he told me. When he was first telling me about, oh, you're going on the bus with your high school now to go on field trips. And he had this whole thing about when he used to work with the MTA. But I'm not going to get into it. But that's why I love my grandfather. He was a crazy crackpot, but a crackpot that was very smart. That's why I look up to people like that. As you see here, this is by City Field. And, I'm just upset that this happened. I should have took the bus number down. I think this might have been the bus, 4191. I think this is the bus. Now that I remembered. I'm not too sure. If this was the bus, I would be surprised. Because that's an Orion 7 Next Gen. But I digress. We're going to move on now to news from the MTA. We had 2 press releases from the MTA today. That's surprising, but we're going to move on. And also, before I read your comments, I have to make an announcement that I made on Periscope earlier regarding Instagram, because it's a huge announcement that I made. All right, so we're going to talk about the LTrain Shutdown, which, again, I'm definitely doing this in March. I will be going to the Lumiere Avenue train station in Brooklyn. I have already planned this, folks. I am doing this tour. It needs to be done. I'm going to take the L train to 8th Avenue and transfer to the A train at 14th Street. Because I just don't think it's appropriate. But I know for a fact, I'm making this official now, off topic. January, I have 2 stations I want to do. 57th Street and 23rd Street on a line I normally take from Queens. If you folks remember, one of the lines I normally take from Queens, that's right, the F train. I am looking forward to seeing those stations reopen. And I will do station tours about them when they get reopened. And remember, it's part of Fast Forward by Andy Byford. All right, so Jose Martinez, and once again, thanks to Matt Camper for confirming the matter of the story. I went on live on Periscope as soon as the news broke, and Matt told me on Facebook Messenger. As I was transferring to the 6th train at Bleecker Street, I got this news that the LTrain Shutdown will start on the following date. I will pull it up on my calendar right now, and I know I'm definitely marking it down. Here we go. The LTrain Shutdown will officially begin on Saturday, April 27th, 2019. Once it begins, service between Bedford Avenue and Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and 8th Avenue, 14th Street in Manhattan will be suspended for 15 months, and service will resume in July of 2020. So once again, thanks to Jose Martinez from New York One for reporting this story. Now, why is the shutdown happening? And again, I mentioned this last year. And I said, when it gets closer, believe me, I'm going to be covering this more because this is very important. And I'm going to say this now. I think this is one of the biggest mass transit stories since MTA Long Island bus left and the transit strike of 2005. I think this is one of those big story moments that, like, you know, this line that goes along 14th Street, a very necessary subway line, might I say, from Canarsie, Brooklyn. This is very important, and I will be covering it more. But I mentioned this last year that the flooding from Sandy damaged the tunnel between Manhattan and Brooklyn. The 1.4-mile tube took on 7 million gallons of salt water during Superstorm Sandy in 2012. In order to complete the work, there is 2 plans the MTA considered. The MTA chose the full shutdown of the line over a plan to stretch repair work across 3 years in order to allow limited service. And listen, I'm going to say this again. This is better than doing that other plan. Because, again, there's going to be an M14 bus, all right? I know it may not be the sexiest option, but it's better than nothing. And you will have a bus line that will take you from the Bedford Avenue station, which, again, very important, all the way to 8th Avenue and 14th Street in Manhattan. So you will be able to access subway service in the city. So I'm wondering, do you have to use your Metro card? I'm assuming yes, because I'm making this official now too in 2019. Because I'm so fascinated with this LTrain thing, I might actually take the M15L, and I'll figure out if there's any restaurants I can order in Williamsburg. But if not, I'll just cover the ride, and if I have to waste double fare, so be it. I'll put $2 back in my Metro card. I have to. I just have to remind myself to get my reduced fare Metro card renewed next year. That means I'm going to have to call the MTA. Anyhow, unimportant right now. Okay. 80% of other users are expected to use other subway lines. The MTA is adding trains on other lines to accommodate those riders. The G line will get the most increased capacity with 66 additional weekday round trips, followed by the M with 62. The A, E, F, J, Z, and 7 trains will get 20 extra weekday round trips each. Yes, and again, the MTA is considering encouraging commuters to, again, take the M14L, both from Brooklyn and in Manhattan. And again, this is what I am very happy about. Okay, let's see. 80 buses per hour, accommodating 4,200 riders. Andy Byford said in June. 80 buses per hour will form an intense bus shuttle across the Williamsburg Bridge. In addition, select bus service along 14th Street in Manhattan will begin on Sunday, January 6th, more than 3 months ahead of the shutdown. The SBS will supplement the M14A and M14D routes that travel across town along 14th Street. And again, this is very pivotal right here. And the taxi and Uber drivers are not going to be too happy about this. The city also says that during the shutdown, only buses will be allowed on 14th Street from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. weekdays. Actually, no, my bad. 7 days a week. Wow. So again, I knew this was going to happen because remember, Omar Vera brought it up in the last board meeting a couple weeks ago. I didn't expect this to be 7 days a week. Which again, as many of you know, I don't go to Manhattan on weekends. I'm normally in Nassau County with my friends, so that doesn't impact me anyhow. But MTA says new ferries will also help LTrain riders, carrying up to 1,190 riders on 8 boats per hour. I don't know. I may have to research that ferry. If the ferry is free, I might take it. Maybe I'll go back to Brooklyn and experience it. Okay. I'll be right back, folks. I just want to see my Notify NYC app for a second. We got breaking news. My Notify NYC just went off. Okay, nothing important. I don't see any Channel 7 notifications, so I'm not worried about that. And I'm by my other network because I just don't trust my extender. I just don't trust it. Okay, so we're gonna read this press release. So pretty much the press release regarding the tunnel closure is April 27th of next year, as I just mentioned. So pretty much New York City Transit and the Department of Transportation, who again, Patty Trentenberg, announced new details about what customers can expect ahead of the April 27th shutdown, when the LTrain tunnel between Manhattan and Brooklyn will be closed until July of 2020 for extensive repairs from Superstorm Sandy, with LTrain service running in Brooklyn between the Bedford Avenue and Canarsie Rockaway Park stations. So the good news is, again, you will have, and I will repeat this to clarify this. So if you're in Brooklyn right now and you're watching this video, please be aware that you will still have service from Canarsie. All right? I don't want people getting annoyed. Oh, I want to go somewhere in Brooklyn. I still want to use the L line. Well, yeah, you'll still have the L. It'll just go between Williamsburg and Canarsie. That's all. And I quickly want to mention that Williamsburg, Brooklyn is an Orthodox Jewish area. So I wonder how they're taking this in stride. Because Canarsie is a mostly mixed area, which I'm not going to get into, but... Okay, here we go. The last day of service for between 8th Avenue and 14th Street and Bedford Avenue in Williamsburg, Brooklyn will be on Friday, April 26th. All right, so make sure you save the date, because the last train, I suggest people to get video of the last train on the L line until July 2020, because 15 months is going to be a long time. Like, if they're playing this out, I bet the MTA has a secret date of when they want the work done in July of 2020. Yeah, here we go. M14 select bus service and a ferry service will begin. Okay, they have details on a ferry. Oh, okay. Good news. Looks like my 135 fare will cover the ferry ride. I definitely want to try to take this, because there's details about the ferry. Wow. Take a look at this. So I think it's going to be every half hour. As I said, next summer, I definitely want to consider taking the ferry. Just as like a vanning segment for you guys. Because again, this is part of covering the LTrain shutdown. I want to really go in depth about this. So where's the ferry going to be? Oh, okay. It'll be at North 6th Street in Williamsburg. All right, so I believe that's in walking distance to the LTrain station by Bedford Avenue. Because again, thankfully this can work. If I take the E to the G and then transfer at Lumiere Avenue for the L, it'll definitely work out. Definitely will. I'll just have to put an extra $2 on my Metro card then, but that's nothing. I mean, this is going to be interesting. I'll be more in detail with you all when the schedules come out in April, because I don't know, it's making me curious. I mean, I know Omar was the one encouraging me to do a fan segment on the M14L, which I still want to do that, but gonna be interesting. Again, it's only October, but as I said, I definitely want to look forward to what this LTrain shutdown is going to entail, because there are going to be some positives. I just wish the people would stop making it negative. There's going to be ferries. There's going to be buses. I don't want to hear people complain. I don't. All right? Manage it. Okay? I definitely, again, I'm only an MTA channel, all right? I cover MTA issues for you all. I just wish the daily riders would stop complaining. That's all. I just wish they would. Overnight service closures and weekday weekend closures will be ahead of to prepare for the shutdown. So there will be weekends. So what I'm going to do next year as part of the Queen service changes video on the Long Island Railroad I normally do on weekends, I'll make this official. Starting on the weekend of February 2nd to 3rd, I will start making the announcements in regards to the LTrain. So I better update my emails to make sure that, I get the emails regarding the LTrain. Because this is going to be huge. I'm telling you right now, I am looking forward to seeing what the positives of this will be. Because again, I don't want to make this into a negative situation. Which again, this has to be done. I'm sorry. This has to be done. Because what if we get another storm? Right? Has to be done. And for future generations, people will know that for 15 long months, future generations are going to hear our tales. That's what I want to do. So enough about the LTrain. We're going to talk about some good news on the Long Island Railroad. The LIRR today announced the opening of 2 newly renovated stations at Farmingdale and Watauga. So, MTA Prodigy, if you're watching this, I think it's time for you to go back to Watauga because you mentioned that you want to go back. So let's read this. The doors to Farmingdale's upgraded station building were open today, while recently the Long Island Railroad finished $27 million renovation project at Watauga, which include platform replacements and newly installed elevator, among many other added amenities. These projects are one piece of Governor Cuomo's unprecedented $6.6 billion modernization project investment into the Long Island Railroad. Yeah, so let's go into the amenities, of course. But I'm still annoyed that, again, on the main line, there's no artwork. So we're going to do one last segment before we get to reading your comments. So I mentioned it earlier on Periscope. This Saturday or Sunday, I know I'm definitely going to be doing this, because I have realized the potential of Instagram and how the bigger factor of it is, and how, again, I did Snapchat because I mentioned it earlier that it was taking too much space on my phone. I was just getting annoyed with it on my Android. And plus 24 hours is like, what if I want to keep certain stories on Instagram? So I'm trying it for the first time this Saturday, November 3rd or the 4th. It depends on when I can upload the story. I will be doing my first ever Instagram story where I keep it on my feed. It's going to be interesting. You'll all see what it's about on Saturday or Sunday. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, it'll be fun what I'm doing on Saturday. I just don't want to spoil it. But I will tell you this right now. My girlfriend Laura will be involved in it, and I know someone watching this, he will be involved in it too. That's right, my fellow contributor Matt Camper, he'll be involved in this experiment I'm doing with my Instagram on Saturday. Which again, I'm really looking forward to doing this, and who knows? You know, maybe I'll do it in the future. Maybe I'll do it for the LTrain Shutdown if I have to, but it'll be interesting. Definitely will. Now we will read your comments. So let's see any good comments tonight. It'll be interesting. All right. Murdum 10, our loyal fan. Let's see what he said tonight. Yes. Murdum, I quickly want to mention that the video I uploaded today, it's actually showing it on the preview screen right now. I wanted to share. I quickly want to mention that I did talk about briefly the service changes they have at all the stations, and I am going to mention it again on the service changes video this weekend. I know tomorrow I'm definitely taping that. Even though tomorrow is Halloween, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to be Halloweened out anyway from, you know, what I have to do. I'd rather would just do my projects for you guys. So tomorrow when I get the service changes, I'm going to tape that. And I'm also going to tape Andy Plays this week, which I will spoil it. We are continuing Uncharted this week, like we always do for the beginning of every month. See what else Andy mentioned. Oh, there was an issue on the M train today? I'll look it up. I'll quickly bring it up. Thank you. Thank you, Meredith. I'll definitely bring it up. Actually, let's check my emails. I'll let you all in my fan mail account, which, again, you want my fan mail, I can always PM you on Twitter if you need, you know, business arrangements or something. Oh boy, Andy is right. Andy Quinto. That's Smyrnum's 10's name on Twitter. Yeah. EMS helped someone in need of medical assistance at Rockefeller Center, which I hope that's not going to happen when I do my holiday video this year. But yeah, important that that would get done. I know. You know, it happens. I don't want to get into what I said earlier about the LTrain shutdown. I just don't. Yeah, I know. I know about Farmingdale. Farmingdale is very important. That's why I brought it up today, because, again, the local media just won't. I don't think local media will cover it. They're too busy. You know who they're too busy talking about. They're too busy talking about the president. Which, again, I rather would talk to you all about good news. Like, again, the station renovations that are very important and making the LTrain shutdown a good thing, not a bad thing, because I don't want to make it a bad thing. So, again, when the shutdown happens, I will do an in-depth video in April, which is very important that I do that. It will be pre-taped, and I'll make it my #1 priority of 2019. I'm definitely going to do that. Needs to be done. Has to be. Because this LTrain thing is going to impact us hugely. So I think I'm just going to wrap up this broadcast. The video, again, the special video I have from you today, the Lower Manhattan Summit, should be up later tonight. I mean, if it's not, I'll be upset at. Worst comes to worst, again, it can be uploaded tomorrow, but I know I definitely want to upload it tonight. So that's going to wrap it up. You all have a good evening. The video will be up eventually, and yeah. I hope you all have a good night, and you all take care.